Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Dream Career Talk Show. In this show, we are going to have industry experts coming from various domains who are going to share their knowledge, their challenges, their experiences, their failures, and success so that it can help others to get clarity, direction, hope, inspiration, and of course, the right steps to build their dream career. There are many careers which are common, like engineering, medical, dental, law, etc. But there are some careers which are a little rare and the path is less known. One such career is radio jockey. And today's guest, RJ Fayaz, has donned the roles of a radio jockey, TV panelist, YouTube anchor, celebrity interviewer, writer, rapper, public speaker, content creator, and many more things that he has done and specialized in. He is also a professional MC who has hosted 1,000 plus shows for Fortune 500 companies across the nation. He is known as Bangalore's youngest RJ. He is a New York Radio Festival and Indian Radio Forum's award winning radio professional who has worked with India's number one radio network and is also worked with India's fastest growing financial educational company. He is one person who has been inspiring a lot of people out there with his content, with his emceeing, with his radio jockeying. And today we have him with us to share his knowledge and experiences so that people can understand how they can build their dream career around this space. So, Fayaz, happy to have you here on Dream Career Talk Show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Pata. What a lovely introduction. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps from this entire introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi.
Great. You are multi talented, and I've been watching you on social media. Lovely personality, the way you create content, share content, the way you are doing many things. I'm not sure how did you get so many talents together and how you are able to like do so many things at once, right? On social media, spreading a lot of knowledge and sharing a lot of things there. And I'm very happy you are here. So, Fayaz, let's get started with how did you
Sure.
get into the career where you are into? Like, where did this talent start from? Like all these talents, and how did your career get started?
So it all started from 2012 when I
Hmm.
came to Bangalore with a lot of hopes, with a lot of ambition, because I was a small town boy. And coming from a middle class household, it was very brave for my father to send me to Bangalore for a graduation, for a BCom.
Hmm.
Everyone in my family were telling me, and telling him, don't send him to Bangalore, maybe send him to Gulbarga or send him to some other place. Bangalore is going to be expensive, the education might be expensive. But then my father told that, it's important to set his base right. And that's why he somehow gathered the courage and he sent me to Bangalore. And the moment I stepped inside the city, I was like, shit, dude, now I know how much money my father is spending because we are from, public service background, and we understand like every single day, how much every single rupee matters. So I was like, okay, right from the day one in my college, I have to do something amazing. I have to be the hero of this college. And that's how I got into my college, with that attitude. Although I was overweight, I was not a very good looking person. I was 100 kgs. I was not so very attractive as a person, but I was very confident. I had ambition. I was not very confident right from the first day, but I had ambitions. So the freshers day, when I saw in my college, I saw that there was one person on the stage who was entertaining everyone, who was trying to be funny, flamboyant, etc. And I was sitting in the crowd of like 200-300 people, and I was like wishing, I wish I was on that stage, dude. He was having so much fun. And from that day, I think the seed was sown. And then I started
Hmm.
looking at ways and means through which I can actually face the audience and come in front of people. Although I was like shit scared. I used to shiver, my hands used to tremble, my legs used to shiver, my throat used to go dry. But I still had that thinking, nahi yaar, I should also do this. So sooner or later, I started finding ways and means through which I can do it, and I started participating in fest, started being more outgoing in class, etc., etc. And then in my college, there was this one festival that was happening. It was apparently Bangalore's biggest cultural fest. It's called the Acharya Habba. So,
Hmm.
and the reason for me going over there was very silly. Like I was trying to impress someone in college back then. And obviously, because I was not so good looking and not so charming and not so amazing as a person, maybe that's what she felt. So she was like, she kind of rejected me. And out of grudge, out of that intikam dekhegi wala attitude, I was like, okay, where is she going? What is she doing now? So I got to know that she is assisting she is a volunteer in that particular festival. So my friend told me, bro, if you really want to do something big, if you can somehow get on the stage of the fest that she is volunteering, I think that could be the best thing that you can do for yourself. Everyone's attention will be on you. Everyone will know who Fayaz is. And I was like, okay, shit, I have to do this. And then I went for the audition. I wore my best possible outfit. Of course, I borrowed the clothes from my roommates and stuff. And then I went there. I gave the audition, and the audition also went pretty well. And the judge, who also is an elder brother right now for me, I mean, like I consider him like a brother because he kind of guided me in my MCing journey also. So he told me, bro, where were you from like all these days? Like 3 years you were studying in this college and you came in the final year. So where were you from 3 years? So I gave him the Chak De India ka dialogue, which I also wrote in my LinkedIn post that I was preparing for this day. So even he liked that presence of mind. So I said like, okay, chalo, let's start. And that's how my first ever. I mean, I got on the stage of Habba. But before that, even before that happened, I got my first professional event as an MC, and this was in IIM Bangalore. And I had no idea that I'm going to be hosting in IIM Bangalore. It was just out of luck maybe, but then I landed in that place, and that's how my professional journey as an anchor started. Even before I hosted my college fest, I was already a professional anchor. So that's how my story started.
Wow, that's a filmy way of getting started there with your
I'm
journey.
super filmy. I'm super filmy. Yeah. Yes.
Right. Now, you came from a small place and then you had
Yes.
the courage, you had the ambitions, right?
Uh-huh.
But did you ever stand on those stages before you came to Bangalore, or was this something that you newly attempted when you came to Bangalore?
I had done a little bit of things in my school. Like in my fourth standard, I performed for a song, a group song. I
Hmm.
was also on stage in my fourth. No, not in my first standard. I went on the stage for the very first time. This was in
Hmm.
yeah. This was for a song called "Jaane Kaha Mera Jigar Gaya Ji." So it was an old song, retro song, and it was a group dance. So I remember I didn't even had the Bermuda that was needed for that particular thing. Even that I borrowed from somewhere,
Hmm.
and then we went on the stage. And my fourth standard may I got again on the stage. This time it was again for a group dance for the movie. I mean, Kal Ho Naa mein there was a song, right? It's the time to disco. For that I went on the stage, and that was again with the most beautiful girl of my school. So I was very happy. Yeah, shit, dude, like she's going to be my partner and stuff. But yeah, I mean, after that, I mean, I was always finding ways and means through which I can get attention. So the crux
Hmm.
is that I enjoyed attention of any kind. Even when
Hmm.
summer vacations, maybe we used to go back to our native place. So I used to really like the fact that everyone is coming around me and they're trying to, talk to me, know me. And that happens in households, right? Like parents very proudly, they present the kid to the relatives and like, acha, theek hai, kuch bol ke dikhao, kuch dance karke dikhao and all that thing. I was not a very good dancer, but I was always very confident in my abilities. I mean, thought ki, I can do something big. And I also
Hmm.
always like watching all these award shows, this Filmfare Awards, these IFA Awards, like Shah Rukh Khan, Saif Ali Khan hosting together. I used to really fantasize, ki, yaar, I wish I could do something like that someday. So yeah, that's the story. So what did you say? Like, I forgot your
Yeah, yeah.
question.
No, I think you connected the dots there. It was more
From
from your
childhood, yes,
childhood. Right.
I was trying to find ways and means through which I can perform in front of people. I used to do a lot of street plays. I used to do a lot of dramas. I remember when I was in 12th standard, I was not able to dance for one particular dance show, the dance song. So I was removed from that, and then
Hmm.
I was so much in rage that I formed my team quickly, and we wrote down a play about like, because I was not that good into dancing, I was good into dialogue delivery and drama. So we quickly wrote a play and we executed that, and that became a bigger hit. So I was the villain in that particular play. So matlab, I used to always like doing all these things in school, colleges, etc.
Hmm. Nice. Wonderful there. And you said when you came to Bangalore, you had a lot of aspirations. So those aspirations were in this direction of being MCing, RJ, or was it like something around studies? What was it around that time?
Absolutely, I had never planned to do this as a career.
Okay.
My plan was very simple. I'll do commerce, I'll do BCom, then I'll do an MBA. ठीक है.
Mhm.
Then I'll probably get into an MNC wala job where I'll have a 9 to 5 job, Monday to Friday. I'll probably wear blazer and go to office. I'll have a very fancy office. I used to watch all these movies, right? Like Rock On and stuff. The part where the
Mm.
hero is having a flamboyant office and a flamboyant lifestyle. I used to think that if you do MBA, your life is set. Like movies like K3G ruined my childhood, dude. I was like, even I want to do MBA, and when I will come back in summer vacation, I'll also come back from a chopper, and everyone will wait for me during festivals and stuff. But that doesn't happen, right? Like
Right.
life is completely different. So my plan were getting into a corporate job and doing all that thing, but then fate, kismat ko kuch aur manzoor tha, as they say so.
And how did this get started when your plans were like MBA and other things? How did this get started? Like you got an
Yeah.
opportunity in IIM Bangalore, right? And then
Yes,
post
yes,
that you
yes.
started looking at opportunities, or how was this?
So the moment I entered IIM Bangalore and I hosted that particular event, I was very happy, and I thought, ki maybe this is what the universe is telling me, ki, if I work hard, if I do good in my graduation, and if I do well in my CAT exams, maybe I will come here and study my masters. That's what I thought. Okay,
Hmm.
and I was also working in the same direction. As soon as my graduation got over, I didn't got my results, but then I was confident कि हाँ चलो Bangalore में तो maybe I'll not do more. Maybe I should go back to Pune because Maharashtra is my native place. I'm born in Odisha, raised in
Mhm.
Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. My native is in Maharashtra. So I thought कि चलो
Amazing.
गांव में पापा भी retire हो गए हैं, we'll probably be there. It'll be easy for me to commute and all that thing. So Pune में I found a college. I paid like I think 10,000 rupees I paid for the admission fees, and I was very happy कि okay चलो CAT का exam भी नहीं देना है, and I got an MBA seat. But as they say that God has his own plan. So I got failed in my final year graduation. I got two backlogs. I mean, I had never got a single backlog in my entire graduation. In the final year itself, I got like two
Hmm.
backlogs. So I was like, shit, now what to do? And I was going through a very, very bad guilt trip wala phase because I mean, you feel like, right, okay, your parents have sent you there with a lot of aspiration, with a lot of hopes, and then you failed. What will you tell to all the people who will come to your house? No, they also know the fact that your results will be out now, and you're coming to Pune, and you've already told this to the entire world that you're coming to Pune for your masters. But now you can't because you don't even have a degree, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, so that was the plan. So obviously I couldn't go for my masters, and luckily I had got placed in two companies in my graduation final year because I was outspoken and I used to do a lot of festivals and all the companies liked me. They picked me up. I got picked up in two companies. One was a completely technical job. Another one was of a HR recruiter. So I thought, okay, maybe I've
Hmm.
done commerce and this will make more sense because it's related to my stream. So I mean, I had no clue what will I do because nothing was in my plate, right? I was a loser. I failed my graduation. I used to cry every day. I used to do daily chores at my house because I thought, Kiar, what if my parents tell me to get out of the house? I mean, if they're letting me stay, I should at least help them. And it was a very, very, very bad phase. I never wish that anyone should experience something like that. But then, luckily, I got a call from one of these companies, the HR recruiter wala company. Okay, they are looking for all these freshers to join on the I think 19th of November in
Hmm.
2015, and that's when I was like, this is my golden chance. I have to go there. And then obviously I didn't told them that I failed in my graduation because I knew for the fact that if I tell them, maybe they'll not give me this job and maybe I'll never get a chance to go there. Maybe I'll go there, tell them, express myself, and maybe they like my intent, they like my profile, and they'll give me a chance. But then fortunately, once I came there, they never really asked for the certificates, and I was like, okay, chalo, theek hai. Let me keep quiet. Let me be. I know this is sounding very unethical, but then it's okay, dude. Like when जहाँ सच ना चले वहाँ झूठ सही, वहाँ हक जहाँ हक ना मिले वहाँ लूट सही. I feel sometimes. And if the universe is giving you something on your plate, you should definitely take it with both your hands. And that's how I started. I came back to Bangalore, and then while I was working in this night shift wala job, I was parallelly also doing freelancing. Chote chote events I
Hmm.
used to take up, and I did this HR job for 6 months. I saved 50,000 rupees in that period, and although my salary was 18,000 rupees, I used to stay in a PG full of bed bugs. It was a very tough time again, but then I was like, okay, at least happy that I am making my own money. So I was doing very good in that particular job also because it was again about communication, talking to people based out of US and selling them this particular job and getting them hired. So I was doing pretty well. I was making good incentives and stuff, but I was not really enjoying it. And that's when the new year came, when January happened, I decided that I have to quit this particular job, and I took this six months. I thought, let me experiment. Now let me do everything possible that I think I can do, which is related to communication. I thought maybe marketing can be about communication. I'll do that. HR to already I tried. I'll do something else. I'll do something else. Karke, I thought I'll figure out. I did a couple of odd jobs. I worked with Samsung when they were making this Siri. Like Apple has Siri, so Samsung has S Voice app. So the very first time this particular app was being developed in Bangalore, and I was working with the core team, the team full of IITians, IIM alumni. So that was again a big thing on my CV. So all these things happened, and then my freelancing, I decided ki, okay, I'm making decent money in freelancing, although I was not making a lot of money compared to what I'm making today, touchwood. Back in the days, 1 or 2 events ke liye, I used to easily get like two to 3,000 rupees. So I was like, okay, even if I do 5 events a month, I'm sorted, right? Because my friends are making 20,000 rupees by hustling the entire month. And if I do like 4 or 5 events, I'm getting 20,000 rupees. I'm aram se chilling at my place. I can do my gym. I can watch my favorite binge. I'm binge watch my shows, etc., etc. So I was not ambitious, but I got a little laid back when I saw money coming so easily. Because this is a skill that I think I was God gifted with, or maybe I unintentionally developed it while I was doing my other things. So I thought, "Kare yaar, ye sahi hai yaar, yahi karte hain yaar. We'll go and work now." Like, so yeah, that's how it got into it.
And your communication is very good. So, how did you build this communication skills? Was it right from your childhood? You studied in good schools, colleges, or was it like you were working on it from the beginning, or it improved over a period of time? How did this happen?
Okay, so when I was in my first standard, so I'll tell you something interesting. I never studied my LKG, UKG, nursery. So the
Hmm.
very first, the very first day when I went to school, it was a government school, Karnataka mein, Raichur mein, and my parents left me there, and my father was standing at the door, and he saw me, and I was obviously crying because it's the first time I was being sent to a different place out of your comfort
Hmm.
zone types, right? And fortunately or unfortunately, the girl who was sitting next to me, the choti si bachchi thi wo, obviously maybe chota tha, so she puked. And she puked in front of me, and I was like, "Shit! I don't want to be here, dude. Get me out of here!" I told my dad. Like, I started crying very bad, and then he picked me up, and then I never went to school for almost a year. I was at home.
Hmm.
I dropped out of my LKG, and fortunately, my sister she taught me numbers, ABCD, etc., etc. So even though I was at home, I was not sitting idle. I was still working. Like, I mean, we have 3 brothers and 1 sister. So all of them are elder to me. I'm the youngest. So she
Mhm.
was continuously teaching me so that I don't feel idle. Although she was also a student. So then directly joined from first standard in a private school. It was a convent school.
Mhm.
So there, I think I learned Kannada, Hindi. Hindi was not included in the first few years. Kannada and English, I kind of learned that. And then we got transferred to Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh,
Hmm.
mein, because I was coming from Karnataka, and there, fortunately or unfortunately, people are not that great with English communication. And since I was from Karnataka, and we are here blessed with having good teachers, so I'm not saying that Chhattisgarh mein we don't have great teachers, but then the teachers used to love me over there because I had decent English, and all the students
Mhm.
used to always be in awe of me. Kare isko English bolna aata hai, right? So and there's nothing like my family mein, mere ghar mein people talk in English. We speak in Hindi only. We speak in Urdu, Hindi. But
Hmm.
because I think over a period of time, I think it developed. So I started listening to recently. I started improving my English. I think I started listening to a lot of podcasts, started reading a lot of things, started watching a lot of English content. I mean, not the incognito wala English content. I'm saying the good wala English content. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's how I developed. Yeah.
Good. And in your past 7 years of whatever work experience that you have been
Uh,
having, right?
uh,
In that,
uh,
you also worked for one of the top radio stations there. So,
yes.
when did this happen? How did this happen? And how was your experience working there?
Sure, sure. So while I was doing my anchoring, I was doing freelancing and I was chilling. Basically, like I used to work maybe once or twice in a week, and I used to always chill out. Aram se. I was living in a decent place. The rent was less, so I used to do like one event and I used to get the rent. So it was
Mhm.
that chill in a month. So all my friends were around, and I was the guy that everyone used to look up to because all my friends were hustling very hard in the respective IT jobs, right? And I was here,
Mhm.
aram se chilling, putting in pictures and stuff. So I used to do events in different parts of Bangalore. Different. I mean, I had also traveled to different cities by now. I'd been to Hyderabad, Chennai, Goa, etc. So in one of my events, which was in Bangalore, it was in Bannerghatta Road. There was an apartment. So just for the audience, if you have seen Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma, there is a Gokuldham society, right? So similarly, there
Right.
was another society where there was Bollywood night ka kuch program. So I went there, I hosted. It was a very fun event. Like they were doing dances and stuff. So I was comparing the event. I was adding a lot of humor, Bollywood dialogues, and all these, flirtatious in a healthy way, wala things. So there was one person in the audience who came up to me after the event, and she said, "Ki, you know what? You have a very good personality. Why don't you try radio?" So, and when we are doing such events, you ideally get a lot of people who come to you who give you compliments about your voice, about your dress, about your joke, etc. So, I mean, you take it gracefully. But then this lady, she said it, Ki, Are, you have a good voice. Why don't you try in radio? So I thought, okay, maybe she's just being nice to me. I said, okay, I politely accepted the compliment, but then she understood, Ki, hi, he's not taking me seriously. So then she claimed that, I mean, then she told me that she is an RJ herself. She was from All India Radio, Lucknow, and
Mhm.
she said that you have that potential, trust me, you can do well, try, you can do it. Okay, she like kind of cemented that in my head. And from Bannerghatta Road, my house was in Chikpanavra, so it was a very big stretch, almost 1 hour ka stretch. Night mein nice road se I was coming back, it was empty road, and I was thinking about the same thing which she said. Next day, my friend came to meet me. He asked me, "Bro, what's happening today?" I said, "Nothing. I mean, there's no event today. I'm just chilling. I'll have breakfast. I'll sleep. I'll watch this particular movie that I'm watching, and I'm chilling around." So he said, "Bro, don't do this to yourself. What are you doing? What if events stop coming? What will you do then? How will you take care of yourself? Have a job, and all that." He also put this thing. Now these two things are in my head. जॉब भी कर
Hmm.
ले एंड रेडियो भी कर सकता है तू. So then I sat back at my home. I was like, okay, what to do? Okay, chalo, let's try radio, I thought. I figured out there are 3 radio stations in Bangalore which are into Hindi, because I was in Hindi. I was more comfortable with Hindi, Bollywood music, etc. So I thought, ki, chalo, let me try these radio stations. I called the first station. I told them that I want to become I mean, I know I aspire to become a radio personality, and I understand that I don't know anything about it right now, but I want to be an intern. So is there an internship in your station? So the person who listened to me, he listened to me and then he hung up. Next
Hmm.
station I called. I had 2 more stations remaining. Then I called the next station. I said, ki, I want to be an intern in your radio station. Is there any opening? Is there any opportunity? So he told me quickly, ki, Acha, call this particular, this is the mail ID. Just send the mail to this particular ID, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, he also hung up. अब 2 stations के खत्म हो गए थे मेरे पास. I couldn't go there. Now I just had one station. So I called this particular. I mean, I remember the Almighty. I did all sorts of whatever I could do. I did, and then I called, and then fortunately the guard picked up. The security guard picked up. He transferred the call to the programming head, and they were luckily looking for an intern. So she said, "Can you come today itself to check out?" I said, "Ma'am, today, not today. Maybe I'll come tomorrow morning." I thought, "Ki, I have to dress up and take care of my grooming and everything." And then next day I went there. So they offered me a stipend of 3,500 rupees a month. It was a 3 month
Mhm.
internship. So that's how I started my internship in radio. And then just one thing led to another. And I mean, how I entered radio, this is how I entered radio.
Hmm. And what, according to you, are the skills that were required, or if somebody has to enter into radio, what are the prerequisites that you think?
So the number one thing that is required in radio is not skills, is not any kind of special degree, is not any kind of special talent. What they look for is basically people who have hunger. Have you seen the movie Tumhari Sulu?
No, I
Okay,
haven't.
no problem. So in that movie, Vidya Balan is constantly chasing Neha Dhupia to get that particular job of an RJ, and that thing is exactly correct. That's what programming heads look at. That's what the radio heads, the bosses look at. If anybody is extremely hungry about the job, extremely passionate about it, even if that person is not up to the mark or not very well ready, but even if the person shows the intent, they take that particular person in, and then they groom him, her, and then
Mhm.
sooner or later you get to that position. So I think
Right.
graduation is a must. And just to summarize, graduation is must. If you are from multimedia background, arts, etc., that's good. Otherwise, even if you're a plain graduate like me, engineering bhi kiya hai to bhi chalega. And if you know any kind of extra skills like editing, and graphic designing, etc. That's a
Mhm.
plus these days. But if you don't have any of these, you just have an intent, you just have a learning attitude, you just have a hardworking wala, mentality, you're good to go.
Right. I love that thing because I think most of them they don't realize this that it's the hunger, right? It's
True,
the
true,
burning desire that people should have. Because when
true.
I work with corporate professionals, a lot of
Uh,
people say there are no jobs in the marketplace. But when
mm,
you gave this example, like people don't even knock the doors, right? You're
correct,
so
correct.
comfortable and you are so hesitant to even knock the doors. When you knock the doors, opportunities will open, right? And I think that's what happened with you as well. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, of course. Like technically, my profile is not the best profile in terms of if you look at the academical part. I mean, I completed my BCom in 4 years, right? I mean, but then I take it like a badge of honor, and I say, and I introduce myself like that. So I've completed my BCom in 4 years, so I'm no less than an engineer, is what I say whenever I'm introducing myself in an event and stuff. So I cover it with humor, and people also like it. It breaks the ice, and it also sets the tone. The people understand, कि अच्छा, this guy is a fun guy. So what they can expect in the event also. तो
I
वहां
love your
से
attitude. Hmm.
thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much.
So I
Yes.
think that is what is very important in people, like the way you put humor around it, plus
True.
authenticity, right? Being authentic and then accepting the way it is. I think that actually puts you at ease, and people also love it a bit when you are authentic. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Because the more honest you are in your craft, in your content, I think the more easily will you connect with people. I mean, when we see all these celebrity ka videos and stuff, right? And the when you read the comments also, what do people write the most, or what do people observe the most? If this person is humble or not, if this person
Right.
is genuine or not. So if you
Right.
see someone, even if you watch Big Boss, even if you watch anybody's interview, what do people say? Hey, this person's accent is fake. This person's personality is fake. You don't connect with the person. But the moment you see someone opening up their, talking about their insecurities or talking about their inhibitions, you
Right.
immediately connect, because you know that okay, this person also has been through the shit that I have been through, or probably I'm going through right now, and you look up to that particular person. So I think that it's very important to be extremely honest.
Right. I completely agree with that because the vulnerability and authenticity is the key to success, right? That's
True,
what
true,
actually
true,
keeps
true.
you moving. So now you identified your talent, right? And then
Mhm.
you actually worked on it and then you got into RJing. So, how has been your journey in RJing? And you also do a lot of things now. So, what is
Yes,
your
yes.
specialization? What are you more passionate about? And how do you actually mix and match all of these skills?
So, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, I'll say fortunately only, everything is connected.
Right.
It's just about entertaining people, or facing the audience. So all the platforms and all the mediums that I have worked in so far or still working on are in some or the other way addressing to an audience, and is also giving me a little bit of an attention. ठीक है?
Hmm.
So, so it serves both the purpose. So matlab radio. I mean, and this is something that I heard Randeep Huda said this once in one of his interviews, that for an artist, the most beautiful or the most amazing thing that he can do with himself is that he wants to reach out to more and more people. So when I was
Right.
hosting events, I knew for the fact that it at once I'll probably be able to address only maybe max to max 1,000 people or 20,000 people if it's a stadium, and I've hosted for 20,000 people also, right? But if you're a radio jockey, you can address to an entire city. Entire
Right.
city knows you now. Entire city can hear your voice, right? And if you're on TV, maybe your state will know. I was also on Karnataka's local news channels, etc. Where during IPL, during World Cup, they used to call me to talk about matches and stuff. Although I had zero idea, I know zero things, technical things about cricket match and all, because I've always played cricket in tennis ball. So मेरा knowledge
Ah.
उतना ही है. But they used to call and ask me about rules and regulations and duck what the law is. I had no shit. I don't know shit about all these things. But then I used to read, I used to go prepared, and I used to add, again, cover up there also with my humor. Anyway, even in my Instagram, I've uploaded those clips. So if you go through that, then also you will realize कि अच्छा इसको आता कुछ नहीं है, बस खाली बात करना ठीक ठाक आता है. And then
Uh,
YouTube happened. So what I was constantly chasing was, I was chasing more and more people. I wanted to make sure that my voice reaches out to more and more people. Live shows, met 20,000 people. Radio may maybe a city, television may maybe one state. But if you go on YouTube, the whole world is your playground. Everyone will get to know you.
Right.
So I happened to get into work with a financial education company where we used to make content about personal finance, career building, farming, business. After radio happened, so then there we used to talk about money, investments, which was again completely different from
Different.
what I've done previously. I mean, I used to be the guy who used to talk about music and make fun of actors, actresses, etc. in a fun way, right? And probably troll the local authorities, BBMP and stuff. But here I was talking serious things about investments, about money, and this happened also at the time where people were actually a little bit more curious about investments. I mean, I started doing this back in 2020. So that time everyone were a little bit more aware about investments and stuff, and even I was personally more curious because I had gone through a very rough phase in my family. I mean, I lost my father during that period,
Oh,
so we
sorry to
went
hear.
through a very rough phase. So I realized, ki, dude, like, I mean, everything is hunky dory and gun and roses, but the moment something tough, difficult happens in your life, only your money can save you. Only your investments will protect you. So I became a lot more aware. I became a lot more considerate about my investments. I mean, about my money. Started saving a little bit. Started investing a little bit, etc. And after that, I got into the current organization where I'm working. Now I'm making. I mean, again, there also we used to make courses on different types of topics like
Mm-hmm.
farming, like MSME
Mm.
businesses, like career building, etc. So I learned that particular skill over there, and this particular organization where I'm currently working, they liked the fact that this guy can make courses out of anything. So
Mm.
that's how I got hired. And so what I always, I mean, what was the question actually? I think I forgot.
I think we are on track, right? So this was around like you identified your skills, and then how did you like look at multiple skills and put it in one umbrella? And
Sure.
if I have to see, I think it's more from your passion, and also you identified your personality type is more of
Ha,
like being
ha.
out there, talking to
Yeah.
people,
Yes.
humor, right? So I think these
Yes.
two helped
Yes.
you, and then skills is something that you kept acquiring there, right?
Yes, I continuously kept learning. I learned about digital marketing. I learned about online presence. Now I learned about building a personal brand, and I'm
Hmm.
putting a lot of efforts to do that because I mean, I'm not the guy who would probably write on LinkedIn and stuff. But then now, thanks to my colleagues in my current organization, Vikas, our common contact,
Friend,
so he
yeah,
told me the significance of being on LinkedIn, and everyone almost is talking about LinkedIn, and that's how we met.
we
So
met, yeah.
so I'm consciously putting efforts now to build my personal brand. I used to always document my work, all the events that I do. I upload it on my YouTube channel. I used to always put it on my Instagram. But then this, like the intelligent side of mine, the slightly intelligent side of mine, or the slightly thoughtful side of mine, I'm trying to portray that on my LinkedIn.
Good, good. And what do you feel like? Why should somebody promote their personal brand? Because there are a lot of people when we talk, right? They say, "Hey, come on, it's like I'm doing my work, done, good." Right? But you also created certain videos, content around building personal brand and all. Why do you think it's
Yes.
important for someone to build a personal brand?
It is extremely important to build a personal brand because, see, I mean, it's good to be a person who probably not enjoys attention. Even if you are a person who is not facing camera or not facing the audience, even if you're someone who works in the back end, it's important that people know that you exist. People know your body of work. Even if you are a cameraman, you are a graphic designer, you are a content writer, a ghost writer, etc. How would people know if you exist? Like, it's important that
Right.
you build that. And the way, I mean, if you build it up, obviously you'll open up more avenues. More people will get to know that you are there. They'll probably come to you with opportunities, professional, etc. And it helps. It helps. It truly helps. And this is something that I recently learned, that the biggest entrepreneurs in the country, in the world right now, like Elon Musk, Gary Vee, Kunal Shah, and so many people, despite running super successful organizations, they also have a personal brand. They also take time out of their schedule to write
Right.
something, to tweet something, to post something. Then what is stopping you? You're not running a multi-million dollar business. You're probably struggling with your day-to-day activities. You're struggling for the fact that you're not getting your cab on time. Correct. So, dude, you should also do it. Spend at least like 30 minutes in a day. post something nice related to your work, related to the kind of things that you want people to know about you. Ki, "Acha, haan, okay, there is someone called as Fatah Khan who is into public speaking, who is an author, who does self development, who also encourages people to do something interesting, right? So if someone wants to maybe reach out to an anchor, someone wants someone to host their event, how will they know that there is a guy called Fayaz who lives in Bangalore, who stays in HSR layout, who has been an RJ, and etc. etc. How will they know that I do these things? It's only when I put out that particular content. If they Google best MC in Bangalore, best corporate anchor in Bangalore, best Sangeet anchor in Bangalore, then probably if my SEO game is right, they'll find me somewhere and then they'll come to me. And that's how I have built my personal brand, and that's how I have got to the stage where people even from US, this has happened today, right? So I have an event coming in this December. This client is in US. They somehow have found my work there. Maybe they were Googling and they have found my work, and I mean, they have booked me for their wedding that's happening in the month of December. So it's only because of the fact that you have to have your personal brand. Otherwise, they'll maybe a couple of your people that you work with, your clients, your event managers, your students, or maybe your colleagues will know that you do this. But what about others? So it's
Right.
important that you need to build your brand. Do something about it. Write something about it. Post videos. Post reels. Yeah, I think that's the crux.
Yeah, I think that was a very good example. If somebody from US can reach out to you, it's more because you are now building your own personal brand.
True,
And
true.
as my mentor says, jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai, right? So
Yes,
if you are
yes,
not seen, then nobody knows that you exist. And today, if you are not on social media, that means you don't exist, right?
yes.
So that's how
I
you
have a
build your personal
different
brand.
version of it. दिखते रहोगे
Yeah.
तो बिकते रहोगे. So it's not
Right.
like you
And
just
it's
put it
very
once
important.
and then you forget कि हाँ हो गया मैंने कर दिया. Continuously you have to do it every day. Just like how you have your shower, how you have your breakfast, how you have your dinner. ऐसे हर दिन कुछ post करो about your work.
Right. I think absolutely important because today it's an era of personal branding. It's no more the
True.
old era where like people are waiting for people and then they get to know you or they find you until unless you are not like promoting yourself.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right. So content is also something that you have been talking about, and I think you have been doing a lot of content out there. Now,
Mhm.
content is part of like how does content help you, and like what kind of content you have been creating, and what kind of content like helps somebody who is building their brand, especially in RJing and MCing and all.
So, I mean, obviously, I'm trying to work. There are like two, three types of contents that exist, right? One is in written form, one is in visual form, and one is in maybe audio form. So fortunately for me, I've been involved in all these three.
Right.
I do write content for my organization, like
Hmm.
descriptions and LinkedIn posts and copywriting wala work. Because
Right.
I was into essay writing and stuff in college, in school. I won, I think, the second prize in Hindi essay writing in inter college fest. So writing वो
Hmm.
आता था मुझे, poetry. I like doing that. So copywriting is very close to that. Now, huh. What was the question? I'm so sorry. I think I should
Huh.
eat more
So
badam, I feel.
content writing and all of
Content,
this
right?
that you're doing. Huh. So
Yeah.
like what kind of content do you write and what kind of content should somebody write or create when you are into RJing, especially like or MCing so that you promote yourself?
Okay. So if you want to, what kind of content RJs write? So a lot of people think that whenever RJ speaks in a radio station, whenever you listen to an RJ when you're on the move, most of the time people think yeah, it's flamboyant, it's all very क्या बोलते हैं उसको? There's a word for it, right? Impromptu. Doesn't happen like that,
Impromptu.
bro. It doesn't happen like that. There's a lot of work that goes. There's a lot of prep that goes. Uh, I know it is. It is. I mean, the fact that RJs make it look so easy is an art, but
Right.
that doesn't mean that they don't put a lot of effort. For example, let's just say that I used to host the afternoon show. When I came on air, I had an afternoon show which was 2 to 5 p.m. in Bangalore. So that doesn't mean that I used to come to office 1:30 p.m. and or 1:45 and then enter the studio and then switch on the press the on air button and start saying hey Bangalore, what's up, this is me Ajay Fayaz. ऐसा नहीं होता था. I used to come around 11 o'clock, 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, go through the news, go through the Twitter, go through what's happening, read paper, go through social media, and whatever you observe on the way to office, that's how you make content, right? That was
Hmm.
radio ka drill. And today, obviously, I mean, even for this particular thing that I'm doing right now, the kind of startup that I'm working in with, so there we are trying to address to students, or maybe people who are more into learning different types of skills. So now the target audience which we are assuming are somewhere in the age band of 18 to 30ish is what I feel. So maybe students and early corporate guys, or maybe little mature corporate guys who are probably in the middle point of their career. So what kind of content will they like to see? What kind of content would I would like to see? Maybe someone if they can tell me, if I'm a newbie manager, how should I become a better manager? Maybe if I'm a newbie in a corporate, how should I become a better corporate professional? How should I get that promotion? How should I impress my bosses? How should I dress well to office? Personal men's grooming and all these things. So we've made chote courses on that particular thing, about public speaking, about radio jockeying, about RJing, of course. No doubt about the fact that these data is available on YouTube and other platforms also. But to get it concised in the right format, the just the right thing, that's what we do here. So,
Good.
am I
So
diverting you from the topic? Yeah, sorry.
no, no, completely. I think we are on the same lines, right? When
Okay.
content creation and all of it, how does that help people? Now, you have been into multiple areas. Now, if somebody is not humorous by nature, right?
Okay.
And then how do they actually get into this career? Can humor be built over a period of time? Somebody wants to get into MCing, right? How does that happen for people like somebody who is a little shy and still wants to get into this kind of career?
Okay. So it is not mandatory to be humorous. Even in radio, this was a thing. Not every RJ is a funny RJ. Okay. There are some RJs who are very good with general knowledge. There are some RJs who are very good with sports. There are some RJs who are very good with intellectual things. So matlab, it's all about your personality. I would like to believe that I am humorous, I'm fun loving. Okay. And that's what reflects in my content. But it's not necessary that you have to also be a funny guy, right? There are, like how we have different types of actors, similarly we have different types of presenters, different types of content creators. Even in YouTube, not everyone goes and watches Ashish Chanchalani or BBK Vines, right? There are people like Ankur Wariko, there are people like Beer Biceps, who present
Right.
different types of content. So similarly, you have to first of all identify what's your personality. This is the biggest thing that they look for in radio. Not the
Hmm.
voice, not your qualification, not how well connected you are, or how much you have studied, or what kind of work you have done. They see your personality. Are you a person whose face lightens up when you talk about adventure? Are you the person who likes being flirtatious, is very romantic? Are you a person who's into poetry? Are you a person who's into sports, politics, national issues, etc.? So on the basis of that, you can build your personal brand, your online brand, your radio jockeying, your public speaking, etc. Humor agar improve karna hai, so what can you do? Now coming back to your question, now I'm paying attention to your questions. Humor agar improve karna hai, to bro, simple hai. You have to consume more content like that.
Right.
Like, most of my humor is developed because of Great Indian Laughter Challenge, Comedy Circus, watching comedy movies, watching Govinda's movies, watching all these stand-up videos. So that data gets set in your system. It registers somewhere in your subconscious, and when the moment is right, maybe something will come out of your mouth automatically. Some joke.
Right.
Like today, we all consume memes a lot. So even if
Yeah.
you say a meme wala dialogue in a funny situation, or maybe in any kind of situation, that automatically invokes humor. That automatically brings people, makes people smile. So that's how I think you can develop. And the more, whatever you want to develop, not just humor. If you want to become a more poetic person, if you want to become someone who's very good with national issues, politics, or music, etc., you should consume more that kind of a content. It can be in any form again:
Hmm.
written, verbal, written, oral, visual, audio based, etc.
Yeah, yeah. I think that helps because the kind of environment you're creating around yourself, like listening to those audios, videos, or reading that content, I think that helps. And also, thanks for sharing the behind the scenes because I think many of people think that it is somebody comes there and then is like impromptu, right? But that does not
Yeah, yeah,
happen even in public speaking. That does not happen in MCing. That does not happen in RJing. It's everything like a skill that you build, right? You work on things, you actually prepare for that, and preparation is basically the key for delivering it on the go, right?
correct.
So good. Good. I think we are been having some excellent conversation here. Now you have been sharing about your skills and how you actually developed. Now, what are you like mainly into? Like apart from RJing, you have been doing MCing as well, right? And if
Yes.
somebody wants to get into MCing field, right? How
Yeah.
is the career looking ahead if they are in cities like Bangalore or any other city and they want to do it as a part time or a full time?
MCing is a great career if you want to get into this, and if at all you are able to crack it. Matlab,
Hmm.
see, I mean, I have been doing this from 7 years. So, and I've seen a lot of MCs entering. A lot of them, again, they disappear. Nobody knows where they go. So, it is not something that is for everyone. There will be months that you'll make shitloads of money. There'll be months where you'll not know what to do because there are no shows, right? I mean, wedding season ideally is in the like the last quarter of a calendar year, or maybe in the second quarter of the calendar year, right? Rest of the time, what will you do, right?
Right.
So even corporate events, they don't happen in the beginning of the year, because that time they are trying to close their books of accounts. So, so I would suggest as a beginner, don't go into emceeing full time, because the ticket size of your event, the money that you'll be making will not be that great. Of
Hmm.
course, you will hear stories of MCs who make 50 grand an event, 1 lakh rupees an event. ये तो बहुत बड़े figures हो गए. 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees doing a 45-minute show. People are making that kind of money. Okay. I know MCs who are making more than that. I have worked alongside celebrities or speakers who charge 2 lakh rupees for 60-minute speech. Ankur Wariko charges 6 lakh rupees for a 60-minute speech.
Wow.
So, but to reach that level, you have to work that hard. Okay.
Right.
And that will require time, that will require patience. It's like compounding. तुम
Yeah.
करते जाओ तुमको शुरू में नहीं दिखेगा वो, but then eventually one fine day it will shoot up, and then you'll automatically start attracting high ticket clients, and that's how you'll grow. So is it lucrative? It is lucrative. Is it promising? Of course it is promising, because it is one career which is a lockdown proof, COVID proof. Even in COVID,
Mhm.
when and all the markets shut down, all the businesses shut down, MCing or event management was still running. Touch wood. People
Right.
started doing virtual events, just like how we are having this conversation virtually. There are a lot of events that happen virtually. I mean, even I've hosted a lot of virtual events. So you need to continuously upskill yourself, because a lot of MCs thought कि अरे नहीं, live event का अपना feel है, hosting an audience, having audience in front of you, that is different. I would not do virtual events. Those MCs are now sitting at home, and they're having
Hmm.
a tough time to pay their EMIs. But the one who learned, developed themselves, evolved themselves, are having a sustainable career. Even in small towns, tier one, tier two cities. I mean, I'm born in Odisha, raised in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, my natives in Maharashtra. So I have friends in all these different cities, and these are not, मतलब states बड़े हैं, लेकिन जहाँ से मैं आया हूँ, they are all छोटे cities. So I
Hmm.
see their stories, I see their status. There's Durga Puja event, there's a Navratri event, there's a Ganesh Pandal event, there's a wedding, there's some kind of mall opening. So they are also hiring MCs, and people, anchors, even in the small towns are making money. They are also having a career over there. So it's not
Right.
necessary that you have to come to a Mumbai or a Delhi or a Bangalore to become an anchor or to become an MC. Even if you are in a small town, you can become an anchor over there as well.
Hmm.
So it is
And you
promising.
s- you were talking about like skills that can be developed and all, but what about passion? How important is passion in life? Right? If you have to be in RJing or MCing or anything.
It is extremely important. I mean, for the longest time, I used to think कि अरे यार shit dude, I'm getting goosebumps while I'm answering this, because I know that ये बहुत emotional answer आने वाला है. It is very important to like what you're doing. I have, as I told you right in the beginning of the in the of my career discussion, like I was doing well as an HR recruiter. I
Right.
was I was recruiting American people who are much more qualified than me into a job, and I was
Hmm.
convincing them to come to this particular pay scale so that I can get a commission. I was good
Right.
in that. But it is very important to know ki what you're good at and what you like. They are two different things. So
Right.
now that I am into communication, I can be probably a teacher, a
Hmm.
personality development teacher in some small institute. I can probably go and train hospitality development type ke students also. Will I like it? Maybe I'll like it. But will I continue doing it is a question that I have to ask myself. So if you like doing what you're doing, even if you're making little less money, you'll be happy. एंड ना ये बहुत फिलोसफिकल लगता है, एंड आई यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज look down upon people used to tell me कि happiness and passion is extremely important, but it is very important. Even if you make a little less money, you'll have content, dude. You'll be content instead of working. I mean, that, like they say, right, even if you're having a Ferrari and if you're going to a job which you don't like, उससे much better है you have a Baleno and you go to your own office where you're building your own brand. You'll be happy that you're building your own brand, and you know that sooner or later I'll get to that Ferrari. It'll take me some time maybe, but I'll get there. So it's very important to have passion. Very important. Matlab, it will take time to discover what is your true calling, what you actually like doing. Not everyone gets that click right in 18 years, 19 years. We see all these YouTubers and all these entrepreneurs. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg ne 21 years mein bana diya. Not everyone will get there. And if you have not got your answer yet, if you've not understood what your passion is, it's okay. See, if the path in front of you is clear, no, it means that you're walking on someone else's path. But if you're creating your own path, आप जंगल में हो, पूरी झाड़ियां हैं, आपके हाथ में दो चाकू हैं, and you're clearing your path and you're going forward, it's fine. Before I got into anchoring, I did all sorts of jobs. I was a recruiter. I was a door-to-door Helpage India ka fundraiser. I worked as a marketing executive in a startup. I did all sorts of things. I was a promoter in events, dude. I used to give pamphlets to people. Right? I did an internship where I was standing in front of a park and I used to talk to parents and sell about promote the school that I was being intern of. So ऐसा मेरे को रात में मैं उठा सो के and I discovered कि this is my true calling. ऐसा नहीं हुआ. I've done everything, whatever I could with my qualifications, and that's when I landed to this. Even TVF's founder, Arunabh Sinha, I got a chance to meet him in one of the events. So even he said this, he did 18 different things before he started TVF. So maybe you will find your true calling right from the first go, or maybe you will take some time to discover it. But the most important thing is that you continuously keep finding it. And once you find it, then stick to it. और maybe उसके आगे और मिलेगा. मुझे बात करना अच्छा लगता था, तो उससे रिलेटेड जितने भी करियर्स हैं मैं सब कर रहा हूँ. Radio, television presenting, live events hosting, putting content on YouTube, etc. So maybe you will like something else. You'll discover that.
Right. So even if it takes time, keep actually working towards finding that passion, and once you
Yes.
find it, maybe different streams would open even in that. Right.
True,
And
true.
as per you, since you are here in Dream Career Talk Show, what is your understanding of dream career, and what is your dream career?
My dream career. I think I'm living my dream career. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I know it's not that great right now, because I mean everyone looks ki acha, if you're doing anchoring, why are you not on IFA awards? Why are you not on Filmfare awards? I'll get there
That's a
someday, sooner or
progressive
later.
journey. That's a
Yeah,
progressive journey, right?
it's important. I mean, am I killing myself for that particular one objective that I have? No, I'm liking it every day. And I know that every single experience that I'm doing is helping me to build my career. Even I don't regret doing any of the things that I've done. I'll tell you something interesting. The door-to-door selling wala thing, which I told you right now. There, we learned something very interesting. There's something called as relationship building that they teach us. Because you're entering into a house of a stranger, total stranger. That person doesn't
Right.
know you. But you have to go there, build a relation, get that particular person comfortable, and get a check out of his house. How do you do it? You do it in just 10 minutes. So they
Amazing.
taught us a couple of tricks, and that is something that I use even today. When I talk to a listener on radio, he doesn't know me, I don't know him, but then quickly I have to establish a relation with him so that he opens up, he tells me his story, he gives me something interesting that I can play in front of the entire city. And that's what I do even in my live events. So every single type of experience will never go waste. Even if someone has been rude to you, someone has been super kind to you, someone has deceived you, all these experiences, not just professional, even personal experiences, sub count hota hai. Sub is getting recorded in a ledger somewhere, and that automatically, when the moment is right, you will know when to use it. So for
Right.
that, you have to develop little bit self awareness. तो ये समय के साथ सबको आता है यार.
Right. I completely believe in that everything is an experience and a learning in life. And I believe you are truly living your dream career, because when we started this conversation, also behind the scenes, when you were saying, I love myself, and like I can go on and on, because you're doing what you love. And that's where I
Yes,
think the
that's good.
ultimate happiness or fulfillment is. So it
Hmm.
was amazing having you here, Fayaz, and then how time flew, I did not get to know.
I was about to say that, dude. Crazy.
Right. So thank you for being here, and thank you for all the audiences who were there with us, like Vikas, Rajiv, and Gurpreet, Anand Murthy. Some of them were also sharing their comments here. But of course, like
Yes.
people who are going to watch us later on recording as well, I'm sure they are going to get huge value from whatever you have shared here. So thank you once again for being with us today.
Yes, I would like to say something, Fatah.
Definitely.
So maybe audience might think, कि अच्छा, we know each other from a long, long time, but we just happened to talk today on LinkedIn, and Fatah told me कि we are planning to do something like this. Would you be interested? So I immediately said yes because I thought कि यार, again the 3 date वाला dialogue कि यार बाद में सोचूंगा कि मौका हाथ में था, गाड़ी गेट पे थी, जरा सी हिम्मत दिखाता तो जिंदगी कुछ और होती.
Right.
Although I was supremely tired, I had an event today. उसके बाद I went to gym. I came back from gym. I could have said no. I could have postponed it to some other date. But then I really liked Fatah's content, whatever he puts on his LinkedIn. Please do check his LinkedIn profile. He's amazing, amazing. And so I just wanted to get to know you because I really used to like the fact that you put so much nice content over there. You dress up so well, and
Thank
there's a
you.
lot of professional wala vibe that I get from you. And because of that, I also got a little dressed up. And otherwise, it's almost like 10:30, and I'm sitting at my home in a shirt and a waistcoat because I was going to be with Fatah. So thank you so much, Fatah, for having me here. And this is the first time that I'm doing an interview like this. So I hope that the audience also will like it. And I please do subscribe to this channel if at all you're watching this for the very first time. And Fatah is a genuine person. He's actually trying to help everyone. And I'm glad that I happen to know this gentleman. And I wish that our friendship from here grows.
Definitely. Thank you for your kind words once again. And thank you for being here so that together we are able to like help and impact a lot of lives. So thank you once again. And thanks everyone for being on this show. And for people who are going to watch us later, thank you for doing that. And with that, we close our show. Thank you and good night. Yeah. Goodbye.